And we're live.
Cool.
Well, welcome. Thanks for coming on.
What's up,
Um,
man?
I'll do it now. For anyone watching, I'm going to have Bart's YouTube channel in the comment section, so make sure to check that out. So, I guess we can start out by like, what made you start keeping moths? Like, what got you into Lepidoptera?
Hmm. Well, the thing is actually that since I was very young, I think I was like, when I was 9 or 10 years old, I was already raising them. So for me, I don't think, to me, it doesn't feel like a conscious choice. Let me fix the light here, maybe it look less dark like that. To me, it didn't really feel like a conscious choice that I've made, but something that I've been kind of like preoccupied with since I was born, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That was kind of with me with like reptiles because I'm big into reptiles. That was like pretty much the same thing since I was born. But yeah,
Yeah, the way I started out is when I was young, I just noticed these caterpillars in my garden, and I just kind of started raising them, I suppose. And from there, I never stopped really. So I don't know. It's hard to think of a reason. I mean, it's like they're pretty complex. They're colorful. They're very diverse. You have these diversity in shapes and colors and stuff. That's what part of the appeal, I guess.
right.
But why Lepidopterans in particular? Yeah, that's a difficult question.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
I mean,
I
yeah. I
guess
think
it really was like since birth.
yeah,
So I can't really remember the moment I started to become really particularly interested in them.
yeah. I think like for me when I like first started keeping exotic animals, I'll just say, was like on one of my birthdays, my family got me a lizard, and that was kind of it from there. Um, it's been like I think 10 years now. So yeah, I mean. Man, it's kind of hard for me to come up with like good questions because I'm just starting to get into the Lepidoptera hobby. Um,
Feel free to ask me anything awkward then, if you like.
Ben, he knows more about Lepidoptera than me.
Yeah, I'm still getting into the hobby. Uh, yeah, keeping Saturnia pavonia at the moment, raising them. They're L2s. Then I've got some Pyri coming, and then ideally I'd like to get into Dubinardi, but that's really far in the future.
What's your
So
favorite?
you guys do raise a lot of invertebrates, right?
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
mean, I think you guys were affiliated with I think tarantula content too. Is that true, or did you
not
guys
really.
eat those? Or
predatory invertebrates mainly. Yeah,
okay, so what
Yeah,
kinds do you have?
uh, I work a lot with like centipedes and scorpions.
Like
Um,
yeah.
I used to own like these scolopendras. Do you know those?
yeah. I have Scolopendra dahani, Scolopendra species white leg, and
Oh,
Resida
those
long.
things are psychotic, like absolutely psychotic. You know,
Yeah,
I used to have this scolopendra, and when I opened the box, it would freak out and just it would bite the dirt in its enclosure, like out of sheer fury. Like this thing is like it fuels itself with rage or something.
a little bit different than a moth.
A little bit, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool though. I haven't kept them in a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm really big into them, and I also really like breeding like the Scolopendra because there's like not very many people who breed them, so I can do a lot of good for wild populations and the hobby.
I
And
heard it's pretty difficult to pair them. Is that true? Like the
yeah,
transfer of like the sperma theca, that's what it's called, right?
yeah. It's not easy.
Sometimes,
I've only paired one species, um,
yeah.
and I paired like one of the easiest species, and it was still pretty difficult. It took me like 6 tries, I think, like six
Mhm.
different occasions of trying to breed them before they actually successfully bred for me. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
because how does that work? I heard like the males. I don't know if this is true. I'm not a specialist in the centipedes, but the males they leave like this package of sperm
Right.
like
Yeah.
near the female, and she just picks it up. Right? There's no
Yeah.
copulation, from what I understand.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it works. Yeah.
Ah,
If you want, I can pull it up on my Instagram. I have like I was pretty lucky with how I managed to film the centipede breeding, so I can pull that up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. So it's very similar to scorpions in a sense with
mhm.
laying a spermatozoa, and then, but yeah, it really depends on the species because some species envenomate the female
Mhm.
until she's basically knocked out.
Oh
And
wow,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's one species of centipede from the genus Ethmostigmus that actually copulates with the female.
Mhm.
But yeah, those are pretty hard to get a hold of.
Well, it's funny because when I was younger, I guess not many people know this. I used to breed a whole diversity of insects. Like if you go to some of my oldest videos, I have like stick insects, mantis, a little bit of everything. I think it was only when I got really older that I started focusing on moths. But when I was young, I kept mantis. I've had centipedes. I've had spiders. I've had stick insects. I stopped doing that, but I still have like the memories of keeping them, I guess.
Yeah,
It
I really
helps.
like.
It helps to learn a little bit about all the kinds of insect, even if you have one favorite. Like if you look at centipedes, the way they behave, I think in some ways you can learn things about them that will help you breed other invertebrates as well. It's always
Definitely.
good.
Yeah. I love working with like a large variety of inverts, like centipedes, scorpions, tarantulas. I'm now getting into Lepidoptera, and I think that's, at least for me, the most enjoyable is just a little bit of everything, you know?
But yeah, I suppose I think Lepidopterans also. I don't know if this is true, but I have the feeling Lepidopterans in general can be sometimes some of the most trickiest
Right.
because the thing is, I've raised stuff like beetles, I've raised stick insects, I've raised mantis, I've raised spiders, and when you raise a few of those species and you understand the basics, then you can use these basics to raise a whole lot of different species, right? Like a lot of
Def-
stick insects, keeping them is similar. Like keeping a lot of beetle species is similar. But with moths and butterflies, I don't really get the feeling that these species are similar. Like, of course, each of them have different host plants, but also stuff like when you have stuff like hibernation. And of course, if you're focusing on silk moths, I guess you can generalize them a little bit. But if you add things like butterflies that need particular sunlight, they need warmth, tiger moths, they can have a really complicated ecology too. So it's, I have the feeling that like in the invertebrate hobby, they're not very popular because each species is just so massively different. It's a very hard learning curve. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like
this is the. Oh, sorry, Ben. I kind of cut you off there, but
like if you
this.
think invertebrate keepers, you either think someone keeping tarantulas or someone keeping stick insects. Really, like
Yeah.
just the thought of keeping moths and butterflies seems so foreign to some people.
Yeah, definitely. But this is
Yeah,
the.
I
This is the
uh,
parrot.
I
Real quick.
I think it's just like the learning curve that's makes it unpopular. Because look, I don't want to say like, oh, if you can keep one tarantula, you can keep all tarantulas. Of course, they're difficult species, and I have respect for people who study them to breed the difficult ones. But the thing is, you can be really, really experienced with butterflies and moths, and that doesn't guarantee that you're going to have success with something new, because it could be completely different from everything you've done.
That's kind of cool though. That's like kind of unique for them. But
Well, yeah, for example, if you raise tiger moths, for example, I don't know if you guys know that group, the
Uh,
Arctids. They're
yeah,
a, they're a type of moths, and for example, if you want to successfully breed them, sometimes you have to make sure that they have certain chemicals, certain components in their diets that they use to make pheromones, like the pheromone precursor compounds. I know it sounds complicated, but they're essentially some types of toxins only found in very specific types of plants. And if you don't feed them enough of these, then what will happen is the adult moths will be actually infertile. So you have to
Really?
know the chemical ecology too. Otherwise, it's not possible for them to make pheromone to attract a mate. So they're not going to mate. They're going to die. Also, stuff like hibernation, like some species they hibernate in the caterpillar stage, and it's actually really difficult to take care of them in that stage when they're hibernating. Because sometimes they still need to feed, but they also have to be cold to suppress their metabolism. And if you just look at for example, silk moths, you know that's all of that is irrelevant. It's totally different. They don't do those things. And I think that's because Lepidopterans, like they're specialists, right? Each species is a very strong specialist on its host plant and its environment. And so their biologies, I think it's just breeding them is just as diverse as the diversity of Lepidoptera in general, like the ways you have to take care of them.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
Silk moths are easy though, most of them.
yeah, I've definitely heard that. But the thing with like centipedes is like, well, most of the care is pretty much the same for a lot of them. You know, I mean, you have like the general stuff. Obviously, there's exceptions, but um, like once you start looking into the breeding of like different species of centipedes, it actually gets so complicated. And it's kind of similar in the way of like you always have to be like researching the new species you get if you want to breed them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I'll show you. This is the clip from Scolopendra dahani from Vietnam. And this is the successful pairing that I had. I'm currently waiting for the female to lay eggs. So, like, the first thing they do is they find a tunnel. In this case, I just used like a piece of cardboard. And the male will lay a web so that he can put the spermatophore. I'll kind of jump ahead a bit. So you can see him laying the web. So males have the spinning organs, they're called. They're called gonopods, which is what they produce the kind of silk, I guess you could call it, from. And they make this web to protect the spermatheca. I just say spermatophore. Because if the spermatophore lays on the dirt, sometimes it can pop or whatever, you know?
I'm amazed to see that these animals even tolerate each other because they're so aggressive.
Yeah, that's like something that I found so amazing when I paired them was sorry to interrupt myself, but you can see the sperm web pretty clearly here.
Huh? That's weird. That's the first time I've seen something like that.
Yeah, so it's like a tunnel, and he would lay the spermatophore right on the middle of it, and the female then goes through that tunnel and kind of sucks it up. This is the female, so she's now crawling through, and do you see that little white thing under her legs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the spermatophore. So now she's going through, and you can see she goes out and she just starts to collect it.
That's really odd. Why does she have to go through it? Like,
I'm not really sure. That's just kind of how they do it.
huh.
But yeah, I was really happy with how I managed to capture this because you don't see very many good filming of centipede breeding.
I kind of wonder if she will recognize the spermatophore if she doesn't crawl through that tunnel. Maybe that's maybe they're like literally too, well, I don't want to use the word stupid, but maybe they don't have the cognition to understand what the spermatophore is, and they have to crawl through to recognize it or something. Don't they ever like outright kill each other? Or?
Yeah, definitely that happens. Yeah, but normally with predators,
they come really old, right?
Yeah. It depends on species. Some species go like 5 years old, which probably sounds crazy old for moths, you know, because they only live like a few weeks as adults. But this species that I paired, they can live like 20, 25 years.
Okay. Imagine raising something for 25 years and then they freaking eat each other.
Oh, that'd be.
That's why I raise moths.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I had a bunch of questions on was like how the hybridization of moths work. Because if you try to like hybridize a centipede, it might work, but everyone will hate you. You know, you're ruining the genetics and like.
Oh,
Uh,
don't listen to those people.
but
So
like,
I think
Can you hear me, by the way?
hybridization in some instances can be it can be important because do you guys know what the species barriers, what those are?
I don't.
Well, a species barrier is basically I guess what evolutionary separates two species from, well, basically being one species, if you understand what I'm saying, right?
Right.
Sometimes, for example, you will have like, for example, a snowy owl in the mountains, and in the lowland you'll have a different type of owl that looks exactly like it, maybe a different color, and you wonder, can they interbreed? Is it the same species or are they two different species? That's a really difficult question to answer. Usually there's like certain barriers, right, that prevent two species from, I guess, interbreeding. Because if these barriers weren't there and they would interbreed, then they would be the same species, right? That makes sense.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So what happens if you try to breed two
Can you
different
hear me, by the way?
species?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry? Oh, it's issues with the sound, or?
Sorry, I was wondering if you could hear me.
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
No, I didn't know if anyone could actually hear.
Oh, yes, I
I'll
can.
be on my computer in a minute and my camera will be on, but yeah, I'm on my phone at the moment. I'm waiting for Google to sort out on my.
I hope
Yeah.
I'm clear too.
Yeah.
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 Well, one question that biologists often ask, like, what are the barriers in nature that prevent two different species from interbreeding? Because if they can interbreed and make fertile offspring, they are the same species. This is a rule in biology. If two populations can make fertile offspring, by definition, they are the same species. So that's why it's interesting to look at the things that prevent them from interbreeding. And hybridization can be such an example, right? You can
Right.
see, well, maybe genetically they are incompatible. And that's proof of, well, it's proof that they are two separate species, but it also explains why they are separate species. But sometimes it's also something because, for example, there's a size difference, which makes it impossible for them to pair, for example, or for the embryo to develop in a tiny eggshell and stuff like that. And I think in that regard, you can give hybridization more respect because it can have scientific value in some cases.
Yeah. I think the main reason people look down upon it, especially with centipedes, is because they are so difficult to breed and there's so few of them being bred. And that we want to stop the wild caught, the wild imports as much as we can.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
So we can be self-sustainable, that we don't want to taint the already rare captive bred specimens with other genetics from different localities or from
No, of course, of course.
subspecies stuff.
I understand why some of those people have those concerns because they're like, oh no, maybe my favorite species is going to disappear from the hobby. But the thing is, if you, for example, if you are making hybrids in your basement, you're keeping them for yourself, you're not hurting anyone. I think that the main problem is what happens is sometimes like you have newbies and they will interbreed two species without realizing it, and they will sell it as like a pure species, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. That's
for example, imagine somebody making a hybrid of Scolopendra dehami with another species, and they're selling them online as a pure-blooded Scolopendra dehami, and these hybrids start spreading in the hobby, and it ruins the market because you don't know what animals are pure anymore. Maybe
that's
they are,
exactly,
yeah,
that's exactly why people are against it.
yeah, and that's the big mistake people make. Sometimes not doing enough research, and they are interbreeding two varieties, and they don't even realize that they are different varieties, and it kind of ruins the hobby for others, I guess. But if you do it professionally, then I don't think there should be a problem. Like if you're a
Yeah.
professional, you know what you're doing. Then in some cases it can be really interesting. Sometimes hybrid experiments have been used in science to prove that one species is actually two different species, right? Imagine you have a Scolopendra dehani from Vietnam and one from Thailand, right? And you try to interbreed them, but you notice like this population from Thailand and this from Vietnam, it's impossible to interbreed them for some reason. And maybe here you have proof that you've actually discovered a new species, because there's something preventing them from interbreeding, right?
Yeah, that's definitely something I wanted to like really look into. Was like crossbreeding of certain moth species. I was wanting to kind of start doing a little bit of crossbreeding with Samia. So like Samia Cynthia to
Oh yes,
Samia
those.
Racini.
If you want to make hybrids, start with Samia. They are great. There's
Yeah.
like, if you're lucky, there's like 5 or 6 species of them on the market, but some are pretty difficult to get. But you can make beautiful hybrids with them. You can also do like selective breeding, and
Yeah.
I think they will even interbreed with on other genus like Calosamia, maybe even Epiphora if you know those. They can
Yeah.
make hybrids too.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting hybrids. I think it's just like, I don't know, it's something about it is just really interesting to me. So I definitely wanted to start it. I have a bunch of Samia Racinia XXL on the way, a bunch of eggs. So maybe after that, I'll look into getting some Samia Cynthia.
Oh, you should try for.
Oh yeah, by the way,
What?
Ben, could you add my other account? I'm about to switch my computer so my camera's on because my phone camera's broken.
Yeah, KJ, we could do that. Yeah,
Right.
but also like,
Thanks.
yeah, I really like the different Samia varieties people can get and bring in, especially things like, what is it, the zebra, Racini, they're really nice.
For sure.
Did it
Yeah.
work?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can see you.
Welcome.
I did it. Yeah, my phone camera's broken, so I couldn't do it on this. What did
Yeah. I mean, what would like how much experience do you have with hybrids? Because like, I mean, like if you were to say what percentage of your breeding project consists of hybrids?
I would say my experience with hybrids is actually a little bit limited, and that's because, well, at least for the last couple of years, I've been focusing on breeding like pure species a lot. I don't know why. I'm not ethically against breeding hybrids. I'm not one of those people saying, "Oh no, that's morally wrong." I think I will promote it. I think it's really interesting if you can make hybrids. But for me, I'm really interested in most like from a wildlife perspective,
Right.
and I really prefer to study like really species as they are in the wild over making my own, I guess, artificial hybrids. Because they're artificial, they don't really have they have less, I guess, biological value. But I have made hybrids in the past. I think one of them is in a video on my YouTube. I crossed two different Samia species. Let me think which one it was.
It
I think it
was
was Ricini and Lusonica.
yeah.
Oh, it was the
Racini-
doorbell. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, I just saw that video. I just watched it today.
Ah,
It was
well, exactly. That was one of the times I made a hybrid.
Yeah.
And I think actually that's one of the first times I did it. I'm not sure why. I just really never give it a try before. But I guess I had some cocoons left of two Samia species. And I was like, I'm making a video about them anyways. Let's make a hybrid, and I did it. Maybe in the future I will try again with other species. So
I think that's something that's
obviously if people have questions about hybrids, I can answer them. But that's mainly because I read about them, but not because I've hybridized them myself.
right. I think that's one of the things I'm finding so interesting about moths is like the fact that like you can actually experiment with things like that without having to wait like 10 years for them to mature, you know? Like
Exactly.
you can just kind of play around and like if the hybrid doesn't work out, then you just don't breed them. You just let the adults die off in like a few days, you know?
No, that's true. I agree. That's what I like about moths too. They're short and fast life cycles. I have a ridiculous amount of videos on my channel. I think one of the reasons my channel is becoming a little bit popular lately is because of like the insane amount of videos that I can pump out. Because if you look at the views on my channel, they're actually usually my views are not that high. They're like 500 to 1,000 views per video. That's not much. But I just make so many videos, like, because moths have such short life cycles. Like in 1 year, you can breed 40, 50 species and film them and keep uploading. So yeah, if you have tarantulas or something, that's impossible. So many species in a short amount of time. Not
Yeah, I
possible.
mean, I have only one sex pair of tarantulas at the moment. And I've already had them for a few months, and they haven't molted once, you know, so it's going to be like 2 years before I can breed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
What did I miss?
moths are actually interesting. They do stuff, even if it's just for a few days. Whilst a tarantula, you can go months without seeing it.
That's true.
I threw a moth into frame, by the way. If you haven't noticed.
What species is that?
Rothschild Lebu, I think, or however you pronounce that. I can already see Bart's cringing at my pronunciation.
But yeah. So if you were to say, like, for a beginner, because I get a lot of like mixed information for like all animals, you know, or not really mixed information, but mixed opinions for animals when it comes to like beginner species. So would you say like there's no beginner moth as long as you do proper research? Or would you say like if you're first getting moths, buy certain species so you can learn? Or like what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, there's definitely, you know, there are some species of butterflies and moths that even the best scientists in the world cannot breed in captivity. So yeah, there is a difference for sure.
Yeah, I
I
definitely
think
agree.
one of the first I raised when I was a beginner was like the death's head hawk moth. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one
I
from
watched that one as well.
I think it's it's also one of the biggest hawk moths in Europe, but they're really beautiful in my opinion. They're black, and they have like these golden patches and like this skull, and they're really easy to breed in captivity.
Yeah.
That was my first when I was like 16, 17, I think.
I want
the first exotic species, that is.
Right. I forget what the genus name is, but the binomial is just IO. What are those?
IO.
Oh, I'm getting some of those. They should be sent this week.
Those are so
awesome.
Yeah, those ones.
I
really like those. Those are cool.
Those are cute. I don't think that they are super difficult, but they can be annoying in captivity sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
What are their stings like? Because I know the larvae sting. It's not terrible, is it?
Altamira's IO is not that terrible now. It's just
like a nettle, I would have thought.
It's just like a stinging nettle, yeah. You do have to be careful, though. There are actually some species of caterpillars that can ruin your day if they sting you. The good news is those are hard to get in captivity. But still, it's good. It's worth researching it before you buy them online.
I have lots of pupae.
Nice.
They are Antherina sucra. Oh, however you pronounce it.
Oh yeah.
Don't go to me for pronunciation.
Yeah, I think it's Suraka, but that's okay.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
So, how did you rear those? Were those just on ivy?
Yeah, they were on ivy. I never knew they eat ivy because no one ever said it, but someone just came out and said, "Oh yeah, they eat ivy really well." By the way, I tried it and I've had nearly all of them survive. So
well, I see you have there a Rothschildia moth, right?
Yes.
Those eat ivy as well, the caterpillars.
Oh, well, now I really want more
Actually,
cats.
actually, in Mexico you have this plant, and I forgot the name of this plant, but it's in the family of the Araliaceae, and the Araliaceae is the same plant family as common ivy, and that's what these Rothschildia caterpillars eat in the wild. So it's related to ivy.
I have a lot of cocoons from Ruster's chair. Hopefully I get a bearing and I can try them on Ivy.
So, what would you say would be the best food for like Samia? Because most of them eat similar food items, right?
Depends what species you have.
Yeah, like KJ was just starting off with Rossini, so
Oh yeah.
They eat Tree of Heaven really well.
Yeah, well, that's actually Ricinus. That's what they are named after, like Samia ricini. It's a reference to tree of. No, actually, Ricinus is a castor oil plant, but indeed, Tree of Heaven, Ailanthus, they'll also love it. But like they're super polyphagous. I raise them on cherry, prunus, sweet gum, liquid amber, willow. It's no problem. They can eat a lot of stuff and be perfectly healthy. If you really want to produce the biggest possible moths, I would recommend sweet gum or Tree of Heaven or castor plant. Those are really they produce very big moths.
Right.
those are the Saturnia, aren't they, Kyan?
No, these are Antheria perennia, I think. I don't know if that's how you pronounce them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They're
It's a
L2.
good moth.
Dropped one.
Funny thing is, those actually live in some parts of Europe because they escaped from captivity.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's weird because it's this really big moth, right, from Asia. In some parts of Asia, in some parts of Europe, you can find Antheria perni and Antheria yamamai. It's two species who escaped from the hobby. They survived.
So, what are I just lost my train of thought.
I did that a couple of times. I'm trying to get one of these out. I'm getting attacked by a plant.
So, okay. What other inverts do you work with, or other insects?
Well, sorry guys, it's hard to hear you because there's some noise.
Yeah. So, what other insects do you work with?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, for the last 10 years, I've really been exclusively working with butterflies and moths. So I think there's no other insect. I do have a few pet beetles, but I wouldn't consider those work. Those are really just for fun. I guess I upload the beetles on YouTube when I raise them, but it's not as serious. Like the specialists.
What family of beetles do you work with?
Well, actually, it's the first time that I ever started raising beetles. It's my first experience, so I'm a complete, total noob at this point. So I have like these Uricella, these flower beetles, and I have Chlorocala as also flower beetle. I mostly have like the Cetonids flower beetles. I do have a few very big larvae of the Dynastus neptunus. It's Neptune's rhino beetle. It's a really big one. So I'm excited for those. But it's hard for me to give you expertise about them because I totally new to beetles. Like this year is the first time I'm trying stuff.
Yeah.
So, regarding butterflies, what's been your favorite species to work with?
Well, I like iridescent species, like the shiny ones. I guess some species of Morpho, I really like them. Also, these papilionids that are shiny and green. But it's really hard for me to breed them because I don't have a butterfly house. And breeding butterflies is difficult in a small cage like moths, right?
Yeah. I
If
think
you
that's
properly want to raise butterflies, best thing that you should do is get like a big greenhouse or like a polytunnel in your garden and several meters of flight space and artificial heating if possible, and then it becomes easy.
I
yeah.
really wanted to work with butterflies, but they just seem so much more difficult.
Well, I don't think that they're necessarily more difficult, but like I guess they're more demanding, yeah. But the thing is, if you have a butterfly house, you don't need to do anything. They will breed automatically. You don't have to do anything. You guys have probably been to a butterfly garden once, right?
Yes.
Right. And if you look at the species in there, sometimes they're like breeding automatically, right? Nobody's taking care of them. They're just flying around and laying eggs and pairing.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I was too busy getting attacked by a tortoise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if you have the setup, it can be really easy. They just need a ridiculous amount of space.
Yeah, and don't they need like special minerals? I don't know.
Salts, isn't it?
Sometimes, yes, it depends on the species. For some reason, especially species from the tropics, the males, they need minerals like salt. Yeah.
Do you know why that is?
For sperm.
Yeah.
Seriously. So they need the minerals to produce sperm. That's why the males are attracted to it and not the females. Females don't care about the minerals. So
That's cool.
yeah, it's for sperm production. Literally.
Yeah, so if you ever look, KJ, at
Actually.
documentaries on the Amazon and stuff, you kind of see quite a lot of butterfly species just in the mud soaking up minerals.
Mhm.
And those will all be the males.
That's cool.
Aww, your baby. What a cutie. Does he have
Yes.
a name?
It's just a. Which one? Who are you looking at?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just a green bottle blue.
Oh, but you have to give him a name, man. That doesn't sound
No,
very
everything I
personal.
named dies.
What? What was his name?
Everything I named dies. It's just a green bottle blue tarantula or a chromatopelmus. I'm not even gonna. You're not even gonna finish that one.
Chromatopelma cyanopubescens.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think it needs a name, a cool one.
I'll
You should
call it
brainstorm.
Mark.
You should name it Skull Ripper.
Skull
Yeah.
Ripper.
Yeah.
I just hope I never
Name
have
it-
to write its name.
Yeah, they're hard to spell, the chromatopelma. I don't
No,
even know why
I
people...
can spell chromatopelma, whatever how you pronounce it. I can
Yeah.
spell the name fine. I just can't read it.
Yeah,
Do you know someone who has really hairy legs? You should name it after them.
yeah.
Just name it after Ben.
Oh,
Yeah, but I
I
don't even know
actually
why
know
people
people
bother with the binomials for chromatopelma because they're monotypic.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, they're single species genus.
yeah,
Can you see this speech?
that we know of at least.
Where is that? Acanthocure? How the hell do you say that?
Regulata.
It looks like his name should be Margaret.
Mark.
Yeah.
No, this is Margaret. 1 second. I have actually got a spider called Margaret.
I have
Really,
made-
you do?
Yeah,
I don't believe it. That's too much of a coincidence.
it's
I
Margaret.
have
Margaret
named
the Noble False Widow.
Yeah, totally. They're great.
Is that Margaret?
Yeah, I've had
man.
her for about a year and a bit.
And you named her
Well, she's
Margaret
touching
for
it all.
all
Yeah,
this
I named her
time.
Margaret ages ago.
No,
I've only named one of my like 50-something animals.
no,
And
that's too coincidental, man. I don't believe it.
I can
You're
have
bullshitting.
screenshot proofs of me saying it's Margaret before this.
I really
conversation.
didn't know it. It was a coincidence, I swear. Now, I guess you have two Margarets now, okay?
Yes,
You
apart
could
from
name-
that, the other one that I showed you that's in this glass box. It's an
Yeah,
LP.
that's Margaret too, okay?
It's an LP and it's a male.
you can name it Margareta.
Margaret
Yeah.
too.
That works
Yeah.
as well. I'm gonna call the green bottle blue. I'm gonna call it Bart because I also think that's a male.
Ah. Am I a male? I don't know. I never checked.
Man, it's so funny. I was like, making all these breeding plans with this really nice species of tarantula. I mean, they're not that rare or not that nice for most people, but I really like them. And I was making breeding plans for it, and I was looking for males, and it turns out it was a male, and I almost spent like 50 euros on another male.
That was the most heartbreaking moth I've ever had, by the way.
Oh yeah, that one. That was the Samia Cynthia.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Yeah,
Are you
it
sure it's Samia Cynthia?
It was sold to me as a Sammy Cynthia. Whether it is or not, I mean, I have a better specimen from the same species that I pinned.
Ah.
That has whole wings. I'll send you a photo of it later.
Yeah, that one.
It has like the nice pink streak on its wings.
That one pupated for a couple of weeks, like a week or two before the others, didn't it? And like the day after it died, the other one pupated, didn't it?
No, it's the day after it died. A beautiful female emerged. The same night that it died.
That was the only male you got.
That's what girls always do to me as well.
They emerge after you die.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of girls are waiting for me to die so they can finally be born.
Right. Yeah. I wish I could say that they kind of all just die when they see me.
But yeah, they are. Yeah, I think Samia are they're one of the more common species, but they're overlooked as beginner species. I really like them.
I actually like that. I like them. They're the most boring caterpillars I've ever raised, though.
I honestly, I never really get like I've been starting to think about it more recently. I never really get why people are like, I don't really know how to word it, but like when people like genuinely tell you like seriously tell you that species is like not good and it's like they're like too easy, you know what I mean? Like that is.
I'll tell you now that Sammy are not easy all the time.
Yeah, it's not really about Sammy. Just like in general, when people say like, "Oh, that species like too easy," or "They're boring because they're easy," or stuff like that.
Then what I always respond is, "Well, your mom is easy, but she is not boring."
Oh God.
I'm gonna keep that one in my books, definitely.
Also, can we just admire, I cleaned that out literally yesterday and they've eaten every last scrap of it. There was so much food in there.
Yeah.
I don't understand where it all goes.
In their stomach?
That they are bottomless pits.
They're going to eat my whole apple tree this year, I reckon.
Is there any moth species or caterpillar species in general that can eat like, pretty much every plant? Like, just eats so many plants you cannot even count them all.
Well,
you guys know the gypsy moth?
Yeah, all too well.
Yeah, it was actually introduced by accident in America, and they are so invasive there. They're like they can destroy a whole forest. So they have,
really?
They have. Actually, one of their favorite host plants is still oak tree, but they can use over 1,000 other host plants.
Damn.
But of course, 1,000 is still not the same as everything.
Right.
But,
yeah. It's
I
a
think
lot.
there's also this something called the fall webworm from the United States. Scientific name is Hyphantria cunea, and this is also a species that can feed like thousands of host plants, nearly everything. But I guess nearly everything is not the same as literally everything. But yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
The thing about plants is they can be pretty toxic from time to time. we humans, we are omnivores, but even us cannot eat every type of plant, right?
Right. Yeah. Definitely not.
So I don't think there is any species that can eat any plant. Because
It'd be pretty
they have
cool to be able to eat like 1,000
Sorry?
different wild plants.
Yeah, they're a strong survivalist. I guess that's why they are so invasive in the USA.
Yeah. I feel like moths would be a pretty easy species.
What I love about cetadid in particular is some species are so easy. Well, easy depending on who you are and how you can keep them. But, and then others just, if you look at them funny, they just die.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can you see that through the container?
Yeah.
You know, there's actually one species that other people, some of them, they consider it to be an easy species. I've been trying to breed it for like 6 years, and I always fail. You guys know the robin moth, the Hyalophora Cecropia, that one, big one.
I know what you're on about, but I also don't know what you're on about at the same time.
Yeah. Well, the stupid thing is like a lot of people are breeding this species, but I literally fail with them every time.
I remember
It's
what
a common
species you're on
species
about.
in the hobby.
Sorry, I
Anyways,
remember.
it's weird. It's weird that I consistently fail with a species. And everybody is telling me this is easy, so it's kind of embarrassing, right?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it's all like depends on your situation. You know, maybe your food plants are missing a certain mineral, or I don't know if that's a thing, but like I feel like there can be quite a few variables. So
Yeah, I just think it depends on the animals as well. Like you can have really bad luck with some species
Of course,
just for no
right.
apparent
Also,
reason. You can be doing everything
people always
perfectly.
forget it also really depends on where you live. Like some people, for example, if you are in Spain where it's really dry and hot, it's totally different from the Netherlands. Like completely different climate.
is that a heterometric silliness?
Yes. How did you guess?
I have a pair of them.
So do I.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice
so-
scorpion.
Yeah.
Did you miss
Oh.
the scorpion part?
Is that Margaret?
What isn't Margaret part?
Yes, Margaret.
You could just name
It's a
everything
female.
in your collection Margaret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just go
Should
on.
I do that with one of my ant colonies?
Why not?
Yeah.
Margaret is a nice name.
They
I
are
wish my name was Margaret and not Bart.
You know what? I could definitely call you Margaret.
Please do.
Margaret's definitely going to become the next brown recluse meme. I can
What's
see
up,
it happening
everybody?
already.
This is Margaret Coppen.
Oh yes, I have
I,
a couple of ant colonies.
I had a pair of Larius conquestriatus, the Death Stalkers, and I named them Thing 1 and Thing 2 from Dr. Seuss.
Aren't those deadly? I mean, that's why they're called Death Stalker, but still.
DWA
Yeah,
in the UK.
They're pretty toxic, yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know. They're not that hard to work with. Like if you compare it to like a venomous snake or something, they're relatively easy to handle because they can't climb, they can't jump. Just use tweezers and you will survive.
Yeah, well, from my experience with scorpions, usually they're relaxed, but just don't try to kiss them or something. What's that?
You tried the most heartbreaking moment I've had this year so far when you order Aptius duvenadi and they arrive hatched and dead.
Oh my god.
I was gutted.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got a refund from those, and just as well because there weren't nearly as many as I paid for there.
Well, you guys got fucked pretty hard by Brexit, right?
Yeah.
You know what? This year's so bad for suppliers for moths and butterflies. I've had the best luck just ordering from random people.
I mean, your channel. I see your name is Invert UK. Are the rest of you guys in the UK too?
No, I'm in the Netherlands.
Oh, Netherlands.
Yeah.
We're the same country.
Yeah.
Netherlands.
Yeah,
I didn't know, man. I didn't know.
I was the one messaging you on Instagram.
But I didn't know that you were from the Netherlands. And
Yeah,
Ben?
I'm in Limburg.
Yeah, I'm in the UK.
Ah, so you got fucked by Brexit.
Yeah. I mean, we can still
Yeah, I did as well.
get eggs and stuff, but it's still a bit sketchy on whether or not.
The laws are a bit unclear, to be fair, on importing.
So we're just going to get
So it's
everything.
probably a no.
I mean, it's also kind of a pain for like me though, because like, or not me, but the European hobby as well, because a lot of people ordered stuff from the UK to Europe and back and forth, and a lot of good importation is happening for the benefit of the hobby. But now it's just
Yeah, like the majority of, well, from what we've seen here, there's a lot more Lepidoptera hobbyists in Europe, so it's kind of going to be a pain.
That really confused me because you see constantly people saying from Europe saying, "Oh yes, I've imported all these moths from the UK from all these big breeders," and nobody in the
They got
UK can
eggs.
find them.
They got eggs.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, my camera's still pointing down from when I was annoying a scorpion.
And even if one site does have them in the UK, they're not the most recommended.
Yeah, no, there's quite a lot of dodgy websites out there, all overpriced. Worldwide perfect. Who said that?
Yeah, WWB definitely. And then people get
£20
some-
for 15 eggs
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
from a
but guys,
common
do
species.
you guys know how the business model works of the WWB?
They
Yeah,
have
so
VAT
then-
on after as well, which is really weird.
Well, the thing is, if you're buying from them, you're literally just buying from another breeder like you and me, not from their company. It's like eBay, right? Somebody offers something for sale and somebody else is buying it and they are the middleman. You can contact them if you have spare pupa or spare eggs. They will put it on their website. And if somebody orders it from their website, they tell you where to ship the eggs. That's how their website works.
That's
That's
dodgy
why
as hell.
That's why the price is so high. Like half the shit that they're offering, they're not shipping it themselves. It's literally just being a middleman. That's why
So-
they basically their website sucks.
I mean, I
Yeah.
cannot imagine it costs that much to like get your own website though.
Well, then make your own one.
I-
You guys should do it. Why not?
I mean,
Well,
my
I don't
dad.
have enough breeding stock to make my own website yet. Like, I don't have anything to sell at the moment.
Well, my dad's a website developer, and I can tell you now, if you want a professional website from scratch, they're expensive.
Well, you
Yeah.
can just use
Getting a
stuff
domain.
stuff like WordPress, right? Have you used it before?
No.
Oh,
No,
it's just like
I'm
you
not that
can,
technology person.
Well, of course, making your own website is extremely difficult, but it's super easy if you use stuff like WordPress. It's more or less like a program that helps you make a standard website. Look into it, WordPress.
But
I
I
have a
think
WordPress website too.
what I mean by it's like, you know what like a domain is, right? Like that's like your
Yeah,
name.
yeah. You can register a domain with them too.
Yeah, I mean, it cannot be that expensive to like own a domain, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, but like Facebook, obviously there's certain rules around it, but generally that's been pretty good for us so far.
I pay about $60 a year for my website, but I don't think it's that bad. I have like I think the traffic was like over 300,000 reads so far, so that's kind of.
I
worth
use
it.
your websites.
Yeah, you've seen my website.
Yeah, I use them for whenever I get a species
Yeah.
that you have information about, because I know that's somewhat.
Yeah, that's-
well, I know that's reliable, and it's.
Those kind of websites are so easy to make with WordPress. It's like you have this template, you just have to add the text and some pictures, and that's it. It's really easy.
I might have to look at
You
that, to be
can
honest.
make the margaretinsects.com.
Oh god, that's
That
gonna
would
be a
actually
thing now,
great
isn't it?
name. Like if you're at like an invert expo or like someplace like that, a big banner in the back, Margaret's Inverts.
Well, I can
Yes.
drive next year, so why not?
Wait,
Yeah.
you're 17?
No. Maybe if you can you can drive, or this? Did you say that?
17, I think you can get your
Oh, maybe you can ask Margaret to drive for you.
She has got 8 legs, so she could definitely.
No, not that Margaret. She's a
Oh,
spider.
that
No,
Margaret.
a Margaret that has a driver's license.
Oh. I think this Margaret probably has a better chance of getting a driver's license than me.
Just go on the street. Just go on the road with a big sign saying, "I need Margaret to drive for me."
Yeah.
It's the quickest way to get kidnapped.
I mean, you're going to be the only one who understands this, but you can always check Marktplaats.
Oh ja, Marktplaats.
Yeah.
In Marktplaats there are heel veel tokkies. Dus.
I'm confused.
It's like a Dutch Etsy kind of.
Something.
Still confused,
Or-
but okay.
more like a Dutch eBay, I think, right?
Yeah, Dutch eBay or Craigslist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Craigslist is.
Yeah, except Craigslist as well,
I don't know.
dodgy.
Marktplaats is, I don't know, it has this really weird energy and crazy people.
I've actually found a lot of animals on Marktplaats.
Fuck.
I mean, if you like actually start looking, you know, and you start like the dark side of Marktplaats, you know, I've
Yeah,
seen like
interesting.
king cobras for sale on Marktplaats.
What does a king cobra get to worm?
I've seen black mambas on Marktplaats. I mean,
That's pretty weird, man.
yeah.
Just never order a cougar.
Actually, in the Netherlands, they're really weird with their laws with the exotic animals. So like most exotic mammals are completely banned. So like tigers and lions and elephants and those things are not allowed. And then venomous reptiles and invertebrates, so venomous snakes, they're all perfectly allowed, right? But then any snake over 4 meters long needs to be registered in the gemeente, which is like the government kind of.
Really? Any snake over 4 meters?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's so strange how they do it. I mean, I don't get it, but
Yeah, and then
Can you register them under a name?
What?
Yeah, you have to register them under your under Margaret.
Yes. Yes. You guys are starting to understand.
Yeah.
I think we should change all of our names to Margaret.
I can actually do that. I have power. Wait,
Oh,
are you ready
God.
for this? Are you
This
ready
was
for
not a
it?
good idea.
But then, yeah, it's so funny because you can own literally anything apart from sliders.
Wait. No,
It's bad.
that's not what I wanted to do. Wait, Ben, how do I do this?
I'm not sure. I don't rename people.
I just had to install Google on my thing to do it, and it took me ages to figure that out. So I mean, I'm no use.
I figured it out. Ha! Are you ready for this?
Yeah, go on.
I fucked it up again. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Anyone any good at identifying weevils, by the way? Obviously not through here, but I have a
Weevil.
weevil I need identifying. I pinned
You
it.
can literally only identify the genus that you
Margaret.
exact species.
Weevils can be difficult. Yay!
Yeah, if you want to identify exact species, you're going to need a microscope and a really powerful one.
Oh, I was about to say, do you know what I actually, funnily enough, have right next to me? I have that. I don't know
That's
if
not
that's
good enough. It needs to be like
Yeah, no, I don't think that's powerful enough. That being said, though, you get the I forgot what they're called. You know those really small moths that you get. My name is Margaret, and I'm fine with that. You know you get those really small moths. I don't know what species they are, but they're so small.
I spelled Margaret wrong, didn't I?
But those are can be assholes to identify. There's like 3,000 species of tiny ass brown moths. So
yeah, but the really small ones, I don't know what species they are, but I can actually look very clearly and see the scales on their wings. Which is really weird because that microscope isn't meant to be that powerful.
Aren't those like pests? The ones in your
No.
home?
They're just everywhere.
I think you have like literally an infestation.
I just
Well,
realized,
it's in my-
Callum died.
I think
Yeah,
that they
he's
can be like a pantry moth. You know them?
Oh
Not-
yeah, no, I know. I know what
Yeah,
you mean.
no, not panty moths, pantry moths. You know?
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Man, I hate my panty moths.
So do I, whatever they are.
Well,
Well-
Margaret's panties, of course.
Well, now, KJ, now you know what to do with your Samia project.
Name them all Margaret.
Yeah, and then make silk panties.
Yeah, by the way, I've ordered more Actius from a UK supplier because why not?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what I should do? I should make silk from my Sammy. Make silk panties with Margaret written along the middle of it. Oh, that'd be
God,
lovely.
and send them to Bart.
Yeah. Then I'll send them to Bart.
And then
Those-
we're not going to go there.
If you send them to me, don't wear them first, okay? That's weird.
They just have a big stain down the back of them.
But yeah, yeah. Yeah,
On Messenger, you're going to have to elaborate a bit more.
yeah. I mean, before we started naming the GBB and stuff, Margaret, I think you should call it the Sexy Moth King, the GBB.
That is a good. I'll tell you what. Actually, no. I was gonna. It's called Bart. I think. I'll tell you what. I have another one that we could call the Sexy Moth King. 1 second. Where is it?
Why don't you name the moth that's right in front of you? Sexy Moth King.
Because he's already old. He'll be dead soon.
That's so morbid.
But it's not wrong.
You know what?
In
man,
there somewhere is a male that needs to be rehoused, but it's a male. Imani. Oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't
A
actually seen
meal that-
Arminia.
a male that
What?
needs to be rehoused?
It's not Armani. It's Salmopace
yeah, it's-
Arminia.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah,
so,
don't question me on my
male?
pronunciations.
I think
What?
I can see. I think I can see the male. I
One
think
second,
there's
okay.
I think there's something in that cup too.
you won't be able to see it there, but that's only a little one. That's how big is
I got it. It's quite big, to be fair.
That's what she said.
I was waiting for that. I kind of accepted that was going to happen. You can kind of see some legs there.
That's what she said
Yeah.
too.
That's not what you want to hear.
But,
Oh, there we
What,
go. You can
what would
kind
that
of see
mean
legs there.
if she sees legs? Would that mean you have like pubic lice?
No, it means that I have legs, dude.
Yeah, you know the things you walk on.
I don't know how you got to that point, but
I don't know, man. Look,
Or
I didn't know everyone had legs. Okay, I assumed it was.
yeah,
a
I know that is
secret.
a bit of a hidden fact. Some people wear trousers, believe it or
I don't
not.
have legs. I'm missing both my legs, actually.
there was a
I forgot
point.
we were alive. I almost made a rude joke there.
I have pubic legs.
Ugh.
You can call that one Margaret.
What is that? Is
That's
that
maybe
genitalis?
Why would
Maybe.
I call this one Margaret? It makes no sense.
What?
Why would I call this one Margaret? It makes no sense.
All right.
That one doesn't look like Margaret.
Does it look
No,
like a
no,
sexy muffin?
that looks like a Margareta.
No.
It's an
No.
OBT.
Oh, it's tiny.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
I was waiting for that one as well. Rather he say it than me because I get told off if I say it.
Yeah, but if all of you had one species of moth that you could keep, what would it be?
I've forgotten
I mean-
the species name, but I know what it is.
I already have more than one, so
For me, wait, I have to pull up a photo because I don't remember
Is it the Argima mimosae, or however you pronounce it, KJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like those.
Man,
They
just look-
eucalyptus, don't they, and liquid amber?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I know
those.
somebody who's getting those in the UK.
Those are just.
Ah.
Oh man, I would murder someone for one of those.
Why only one?
I don't know. I would
That
just
was a
need
bit.
one. One would be worth one murder.
You tried to get a breeding stock, you got a kill spree.
Exactly.
Well, by
And-
then.
Yeah, by then. Hey, I'm American anyway, so I'll just go to school for that.
Did Bart
Ooh.
get the joke?
I think he did.
Yeah. I don't
Who's
know.
shooting, right?
He's being covered up by the moth here, so I can't see his face. Where
I
did Ben go?
was about to say something really mean. I was about to say maybe that's a good thing.
Oh.
But I mean, device not connected.
So who's actually watching the live?
At the moment, we have one person
Margaret.
watching.
Ah.
One.
Yeah. Look, we
Oh,
don't
hi Ben. You scared me then.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys just had one subscriber named Margaret, and she just unsubscribed.
Honestly, we have like such a small subscriber count. We have like I think 45 subscribers now.
I only just subscribed. Sorry.
We're famous.
Yeah.
I
I didn't
think-
actually. I think you have more subscribers than me, to be honest.
We can
Yeah,
be the next
people-
Logan Paul.
Yeah. People don't really watch our channel because we actually say things how they are. Like,
Oh
if
my
someone treats their animals badly, we pick them up on it.
Nice.
We have like zero filter. I mean, some of the shit we've said on last streams is just bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, half of
Yeah,
it
but-
results.
There's no problem. Just make sure that you don't say something that breaks like the YouTube terms of service.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
They
mean,
can fuck
I
over
feel
your
like we've
channel.
said a few things that could possibly bring up the YouTube terms of service.
yeah, it's,
Oh, it's a little bit of racism.
I mean, half of it just goes to bullying Insect House. Most of the streams do.
Oh. Yeah, we do like to bully people who don't take good care of animals.
It's not bullying, it's just extreme
Bullying.
criticizing.
Extreme being
You know who
mean.
we should bully? You
What?
Say
know
that
who
again?
deserves to be bullied? That insect house guy. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
Who?
Insect House.
The dude with the guy who has like 1 million followers with just putting shit on his face and being like,
Oh,
Looking
insects.
like a caveman.
Yeah, no, I know who you're on about. He
Now,
is annoying.
We've had actually an entire stream dedicated to bullying him.
Yeah.
He looks like Chicken Little.
oh, that's cool. Because he always puts stuff like, he's always putting stuff like hashtag entomologist. And I'm like, how are you calling yourself entomologist? You never posted something educational in like 5 years' time.
What do you
Literally
mean?
Selfies.
It's super educational to put butterflies on your face next to mantises. That's
They
super
put a
educational.
monarch
Sometimes-
butterfly.
Sometimes
Next to-
he doesn't even write down like what species they are. It's like you're just looking at this silly weird old
He doesn't take care of
this
his animals.
caveman
either.
looking dude with some random dude. Just like,
Yeah.
There's this
Like-
one. Oh man, he posted a photo. He had
he deserves
a
to be
praying-
bullied.
Yeah, he does. But he had a praying mantis that naturally eats Lepidoptera, right? Sitting next to a monarch butterfly on his face together. Like,
Was it an Idleman's Diabolica or those flower mantis?
no,
No,
it
it
was a Chirodotus.
Pterodactyl,
Oh, wow.
yeah. The
They're a bit cooler.
hooded mantis, yeah, they're cool.
Oh,
I would
this
say I have a
rainforest
those flower
man,
mantis, but it's inside.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I have
Oh,
a
guys,
bullshit,
by the
that's
way,
why I said-
in about 5 minutes, I think I have to disconnect. By the way,
Yeah,
I know that's bad news. Oh, I'm sorry.
We're all gonna
But
die
it's
without
been
sexy moth
1 hour.
king.
Our views will
If
go
you
down.
want, we can do it
astronomically.
again next week.
Yeah.
Next week we are completely booked out. Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Mother's Day, so I have to be social. You know the deal, right?
Of course, of
Ah,
course.
I hate being social. It's
Of
the
course.
worst
Otherwise,
part
she's
about being
going to
human.
be like. Otherwise, she's going to be Bart. Why are you giving attention to Margaret and Margaret and Margaret and not to me?
yeah.
You can just say, like, sorry, Mom, I've chosen a new mother. Her name is Margaret.
I wish. I wish you guys were my mother.
Yeah.
What do your parents think of all your animals or your moths?
I think that they love and hate them at the same time. They love them because it's like the thing that I do, and they respect, like, I don't know. The thing is, I tend to make a terrible mess. I put my cages all over the house. Sometimes
That's literally me.
my parents sometimes are pissed off when there's moths flying in the living room, so they don't like that. They don't like the mess it creates. But I think they also respect it is my passion, I guess, and that I'm trying to pursue that, I guess.
My parents are pretty much the same.
My
It's
dad
kind
hates
of like it's kind of like your kid has a fucked up hobby, but you're trying to accept it because you love him or something. It's something like that.
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
like to just know I literally my bug room is just a shed. An insulated and
No.
heated shed.
It's
hey,
like a
better than
nice
nothing.
What?
Better than nothing.
Oh no,
It's a
it's
very
better than
nice
nothing. That was my dad's way of saying get him out of the house. It
Oh, oops. Is it heated or not?
is heated, yeah. I've got that. If I can lift it up. without
Otherwise,
breaking
winter is going to be tough, man.
everything. Oh no, I've already had it up for over a year. It's insulated and
Ah.
heated, and it's got 2 doors on it, so it stays warm.
Hmm.
Well, I guess we can end it here, right? Well,
What?
Ben, you're muted, just so you know. But everyone,
No,
Hey.
don't
viewer-
don't end it, man. It's not worth it. Call the
No,
hotline.
keep it going. Oh, one last thing though. Something me and Ben were talking about was care sheets. There's not many of them. We were talking about doing a making some care sheets, and Ben makes videos about them. Kind of like what you do, but not copying you.
what you do, but
I'm not
me.
the first. I haven't invented care sheets. Okay, I don't have a copyright on that. So
Well, Ben wanted to make videos on them. I wanted to write some long, really in detail, almost books sort of things about species of moths.
okay.
Margaret's moths. That's the thing.
I will call it that. I will.
Oh my god, you know how awesome would it be if like someday one of us discovers like a new species of invertebrate and we name like, let's say I find like a new species of centipede or something and I call it Scolopendra margarita.
Yes.
Well, yeah, like it's
No,
definitely called,
call it
especially with
call it
something-
Scolopendra Margaret.
Without spaces in between, just like one giant long Margaret.
Yes,
That's awesome.
I would
Oh,
love
God.
to have a giant long Margaret. So
I don't know what that is, but I want to know what it is.
If,
That would
yeah,
actually be so cool.
I'm thinking it's a good idea, though. The idea that me and Ben had about writing a book. Well, I was going to write a book, and he wants to make videos about it.
yeah.
I think it's a good idea. Also, it's an
Yes,
excuse
yeah,
to get more
there's
moths.
a lot of you can do. I mean, there's people on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Yeah, I mean-
so I don't know.
I think that's like one of the main reasons why me and Ben started the podcast or podcast. I don't know, just kind of like talking to random people, but like, was just so like we can gather new information, like build connections, make friends in the hobby, and just like, you know, learn about different fields that we are not expertise in.
Yeah, we learned a lot of things today, didn't we, guys?
Yeah, we
Yes.
learned about Scolopendra margaret.
Yeah, that's my favourite species
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Very nice educational video.
Yeah,
So
educational.
Definitely. We learned that every person we've ever known is actually a Margaret and nothing else.
Yes.
Margaret Sapiens.
Margaret Sapiens. That's right.
but yeah.
I was about to say Homo Margaret, but
Yeah, no, that avoided that one. Yeah, I intentionally didn't say that.
But you just said it.
Well, no,
you
you
had no
said it.
filter on the stream.
I didn't say it.
But yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the
Homo
whole world-
Margaret still sounds better than Homo Margaret still sounds better than Homo Bart, right?
I mean,
If the human species had been named after you, it'd be Homo Moth King or something like
yeah.
Homo Moth King? That's sounds like
Homo Bartians.
sounds like
Well, I
something
think-
you hear in a nightclub. Like in a dark room.
Like they go to the front desk. Yeah, I'm here for Homo
Sorry,
Bart
guys,
King.
I behave, okay? I'm 27, but I behave like a teenager sometimes. So
Yeah, you know we're all teenagers, so it's all good.
Yeah. I should
Yeah.
be giving a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
I
this
mean,
is Mom. Please go to.
I mean, what better example is there than the sexy Moth King? I mean, come on, best example.
Yeah, what's better than a bunch of kids calling you a sexy Moth King?
the Homo sexy moth king sounds like something you could find in a nightclub, or the Vanity Oscars after party.
Or in like some like
I shouldn't be drinking while we're having this conversation, otherwise I'm going to spit it everywhere.
well,
That's what she said.
Oh, God.
the Homo
Right.
Moth King could be like the title of like some, you know, extracurricular TV.
That's what
Oh.
we were thinking.
Hey guys, this is Bart Koppes. I have OnlyFans today. Add me. OnlyFans/Homo.
You do
I'll
seem
put
like
a
the sort of
link in the
person to set up an OnlyFans and just have pictures of OnlyFans. Like, just fans. Like, ceiling fans, wall fans, you name it. Or,
You mean
if it gets too hot in the summer, extractor fans.
I put
Fans.
his OnlyFans link in the description, in the bio, in the comments. Make sure to check it out, guys.
What does it say? It says only. Oh, God.
But yeah.
Tell you what, money well spent. What? Who said that?
I'm surprised someone hasn't done that, but done that with moths like the
I'm sure someone has if you look in the right places.
Hey, yo!
the Silence of the Lambs cover picture, but just the moth is in a different place.
It's on a different head.
Do you know what? We should do that. We should get a photo of Bart and put a moth over his mouth and put it on the Silence of the Lambs thing. See if anyone picks it up.
Yeah.
I could knit panties with that and then Margaret out of my silk.
oh yes, it's so hot. Margaret.
How much silk do you get from silkworms? Because I can't imagine. I imagine you need quite a lot of them to get any reasonable amount.
Yeah, I think to make a T-shirt out of silk, you need like 5,000 cocoons, something like that.
5,000. That it? Oh, I can
Yeah.
pull that out of my pocket.
Yeah. Have you ever wondered why silk products is expensive? That's why.
Yeah, I mean, how do you even make silk? So like, don't they have to boil it, right?
Yeah, it loosens the strands and then they pull them all
I
out.
make my own silk.
Do you actually?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say 25 eat through all of that in a matter of a day. 5,000, they'd eat through that in about a minute.
Man. I feel like it'd be really expensive to run.
You'd need like a field of food,
Yeah.
at least.
All right, guys,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be social. I'm gonna
Oh,
have to
no.
say goodbye.
I wish you
Go to the
luck.
social side.
I enjoyed live streaming with you guys. Bye bye.
Toodaloo.
We did have like 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
See you next
All right.
time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm still waving.
Okay, so I screen recorded the bit where he said that he'd wish we're his parents. We're going to post that to entomology.
Count on that.
You better tag both of us in that post.
We'll adopt him.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's so
Sure.
fucked. Just like
Sure.
a bunch of teenagers adopting an adult man.
yeah, but
Oh,
I
you've
mean,
got to count for something. It's 3 times more responsible than just one teenager.
I'm
That's
just happy.
true, that's true.
I'm just happy that we have other Margaret here because otherwise that stream would have been dead.
Which Margaret are we on about?
Yeah.
Oh, yay. I'm count for something.
Nah, but I think we can end the stream here, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Also, I would like to apologise for being really sweaty. It's just this heater is about 70 degrees.
But yeah, so,
Everyone watching, I hope you hated it. Goodbye.
yeah.